and welcome back to the Special Moves podcast. It's been a while. It's been, we had a week off because it was Christmas.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good reason to have a week off, isn't
It's
it?
understandable, isn't it? But now we go into this new year with
renewed tiredness.
Yeah, well, I feel very
and
energetic.
lethargy.
I'm not.
Oh.
But I can have the energy
I am.
I'll absorb
Yes,
it
please
all.
do.
Feeding off. Maybe that's why. I'm an energy vampire.
Colin Robinson.
I've been listening to loads of podcasts over the Christmas break, and then I've just been going, oh, man. Yeah, loads of people put loads of effort into their podcast, and then they get like 50 listens. So I'm like, I feel so grateful. So it's made me come into here going, oh, do you know what? Yeah. It's good to see everybody. It's very one-sided, but most conversations in my life are. So it's good to be here in everyone's ears and eyes.
Oh, what a gross start to the year. We've got a few things to talk about. Obviously, we've had some time off work and stuff like that, so we've had some extra time to play games and stuff. I feel like we've got through quite a bit. From what I know,
played fair amount.
We're doing a bonus podcast as well. If you're a Patreon, remember you can check out our bonus podcast every couple of weeks, and so we've got a fresh one of those coming up for you if you're a Patreon supporter. We've got loads of. The reason I'm saying that is we've watched a lot of stuff as well.
Yeah.
So
nearly everybody is watching stuff over Christmas, aren't they?
Yeah.
Not Christmas films and stuff, but everything else, isn't it? Catch up time.
Yeah. You just get time, don't you? You just get time to
and
sit.
Sometimes, and like in 10 hours, let's say, you can watch a good couple of films. You can watch a whole mini-series or something.
Yeah.
Or do chapter 3 of Death Stranding. So it's like sometimes people choose to watch that.
The first part of chapter 3 of Death Stranding.
Yeah, so it's like we're coming in hot really in 2020. We got lots of games to talk about, and on the bonus pod we'll be talking about. I guess the thing everyone watched over Christmas is The Witcher, but.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later on. Actually, we've got some emails about that. So what did you play, guys? What did you spend your precious free time? What did you dedicate your free Christmas time to? Gaming wise, it's a gaming podcast.
I platinum Sekiro and Dark Souls 3, but I can't remember if I did that before.
You were mopping up some trophies, weren't you?
Yeah, man, I was on the hunt. I'm just limbering up for Neo 2 because it was quite hard. So I was like, all right. So yeah, I smashed Sekiro, and that felt like a lifetime. I feel like it took all my time. It took me 27 hours. That's nothing. Dark Souls 3 took me 70 hours, and I felt like that was less of a slog.
Yeah.
Sekiro. I finished Sekiro, so I had one ending already, and then I got the other 3 endings. So I was on New Game Plus, and got all the skills in 27 hours. It feels like really efficient, and I hardly died towards after the first playthrough because I'd maxed out all my health and attack power and stuff like that. But it just dragged. It really did drag. I feel like I feel like I can happily never go back to it, knowing that I've done everything. But yeah, it was good. It was good to do it. And I'll tell you what, I saved the best. No, I didn't. But I actually got the half ending last. But the one before that, the last proper playthrough I did of it, I didn't realize it kind of ends. Spoiler free. It ends leading up to a sequel.
Right.
Which would make loads of sense, and it would really work and stick with all of the themes of the first game. So I see online loads, Bloodborne 2. I'm thinking it doesn't need it. It doesn't need a Bloodborne 2. Yeah, you could just do another Dream or something else with Yarn. I don't think it needs it.
No, it really doesn't.
But Sekiro ends with a story half finished, and you think, oh, okay, it really makes sense for there to be a Sekiro 2. So I'm really hoping that there is now. I don't know. I even feel like Dark Souls 1 ended in a very definitive manner.
Yeah, yeah.
But it does end with this has happened, so humanity's safe for 1,000 years, and then Dark Souls 2 is like, hey, here we are later. And that was cool because you got to see all how the world had changed and stuff, especially in Dark Souls 3. But with Sekiro, it ends boom. If Sekiro 2 carried on straight away from where it's the return ending, by the way, the one where you have to get the persimmons and the frozen tears if you do that one. So yeah, I was quite surprised at that. And then I also played the Banner Saga.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of that as well.
It's kind of crops up everywhere. It's seemingly in every sale ever in existence.
Yeah.
It has been for years.
See it all the time.
Always, yeah. And it's from 2014. It's everywhere, literally mobile and iPads and all this.
It's had 2 sequels since then as well.
It's had 2 sequels, with the third one being from, I think, 2018.
Yeah,
so I didn't
pretty
really know
recent.
much about it, and I thought, I don't know, it's on mobile and it's got this asterisk art style. Let's have a look. So it turns out it's by some real pedigree.
Top tier
Yeah,
BioWare.
like the BioWare as well, like the BioWare from back in the day. And yeah, they did a Kickstarter for it, which is normally a good sign if it was this successful off a Kickstarter. You know? And the combat it got a big overhaul in the second game, and then the third one really ended with like a big resolution. So I was like, all right, I'll have a look then. And they were on sale for like £3 or something like that. On
Really,
the Switch.
it was about £4.50 or something. Really cheap. Right?
Yeah. And then the third one's like double that, but it's like a lot, newer. So yeah, I thought I'll jump into it. And it's really nice. Yeah, it plays a bit like Oregon Trail and Fire Emblem mixed together.
Yeah.
Kind of like it has that turn-based, tile-based combat mixed with this like bit of like a pen and paper RPG style decision making thing.
Yeah,
it's good. It's
They're
very
tough decisions a lot of the time as well. It's quite a bleak world, and you're like, the game tries really hard to make you feel like a bad leader. I think like almost every decision, there's like someone disagrees, or you've that was probably the best thing to do, but we lost like 20 guys.
Like the decisions that you make and stuff really kind of show the results like a lot later on as well.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, there's a guy in the woods and you can, like it's written a little bit more subtly than this, but like, there's a guy in the woods and he's like, oh, I've got loads of supplies and I can join you if you want. And you say, yeah. And then, he's acting a bit suspiciously. You can punish him, kick him out, or warn people to stay away. And then, you might have like some sort of like drunken, like sort of hazy night, and then boom, some people are dead all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And that's like days and days and days on. But I took this guy on because I needed supplies, because I didn't even realise you could buy them from the market. So I was doing really well, and I was like, oh, I'm running low on supplies. I'll take this guy on. Yeah, more trouble than he was worth, I'll tell you.
Yeah, but, it's good though, isn't it? And it's good. You're totally right. Where for a long time it might seem like a good decision, and sometimes people will be. You might bring people in who are like raising morale because they're a bit of a character and stuff, and because you're you're the leader of like a caravan kind of thing, and the whole game is like watching your caravan of like refugees, basically, like just fleeing a war. Yeah. And you've got loads of warriors and stuff like that, but then you've got like key characters in the caravan as well who are like your party when you go to combat.
That's the thing. Yeah, you can take people on and they become playable,
and they're great
party
some
members
of them,
in your So like this guy I took on is like a spearman, and he does some serious damage.
Yeah,
but
he's a bit of a prick. So
unfortunately, he's spearing all these people in their sleep, killing them. You know what I mean? Yeah. Literally spearing them. I know what it sounded like.
Some sort of viper. That's his only weapon of choice. He's just spearing these people. It's a good game, though. I like it.
If it wasn't kind of clear enough, Banner Saga, I feel like you've got no idea what it is. It's like kind of Norse mythology based, inspired game with this quite comic booky art style.
It's great, I think, and visually it's fantastic.
It kind of does this thing like the Game of Thrones does, where it's like the story's kind of. You start off as like humans, and then you start off as giants, like you're a party of giants, and like I think you've been exiled or something, and the story's kind of building up, and then it goes, poof, chapter 2. All of a sudden, on the other side of the big world map, you're now this leader of men. And this thing that you've got in common is that there's these like giant rock creatures called the Dredge, which constantly get referred to as slags, which is funny because if you're British,
disturbing also. Killing a slag.
I've never seen a slag this big, and I'm like going, yes, man, that's what it's saying.
That's actually, that's in there.
It's a nice little thing. Because if you, slag is like a slut.
That's the fucking YouTube British title sorted, isn't it?
You don't know. So it does this thing where like it's two different sides of the world, kind of how it was like Westeros and then like the Daenerys story. But then as you can imagine, predictably like the stories merge, and then at that point, But so I'm playing the first one still, and I'm really looking forward to the second one, because the only thing about it is I think the combat could do with a bit of tweaking. It is quite.
It's a bit chess-like, I think, somehow, and it's a bit like obviously it's like tile-based, but it's the strategy and the tactics in the combat is quite I don't know how to put it really, but it doesn't feel like you've got loads of options somehow, and you have to. It's really quite straightforward for me anyway. Just sort of, it's like the old RTS thing. If you've got like a load of tanks, you just manually attack one tank at a time, and that's the most efficient way of taking them out. And so for me, I like whoever the enemy setup is, I find like the biggest, most dangerous enemy.
Focus him down.
Get all of your party to take, and I usually do the same thing every single time. Whereas compared with something like XCOM, so many variables of what can happen.
It doesn't seem very situation
No,
based. You're right, exactly.
But they're nice arenas, though, aren't they? Like when a battle loads up, it looks like really nice.
Especially when the story takes you places. So, like, there's a pub crawl, then the map is like in a tavern, and there's Viking-looking dudes like cheering you on and stuff.
And if you got your headphones in, you get some nice tavern-y kind of.
Austin Wintory or Wintory, however you pronounce his name, did the music for it. So he's like
nice.
a good pedigree. He does some good stuff. Journey, obviously, is his most famous. But and it's his famous sort of cello-y thing, which really works with this kind of the old setting. So it's a pretty old game, but it's on sale everywhere at the moment. And if you've not checked it out, it's actually quite deep. And I'll tell you what, this is the kind of, I guess these are two parts of a Venn diagram that probably wouldn't be interested in each other's stuff. But if you're a Fire Emblem fan, I'd really recommend it. It's got that social element to it, and then it's got this turn-based tactical side as well. And if you're interested in the sort of Fire Emblem-y type stuff, Japanese stuff, you're probably not going to be interested in this overly Western, Dungeons and Dragons-y, Norse-y stuff, and vice versa. If you've already played Banner Saga and you really like it, and you can't quite figure out what to play next or whatever, then look at that Fire Emblem Three Houses, man. It's like they are quite similar.
I played a lot of that as well. One other thing I want to mention as well is the names. There's so many characters in it. Loads of them have got like Norse Scandinavian inspired names. But the game's pretty good. Right, this is just one detail that I like, where someone, like one person will join a caravan and they'll be called like whatever, Gustafsson or something.
Yeah.
But then like 2 hours later, Gustafsson will come up to you in a dialogue and say something, and your options, or someone will say Gustafsson's been doing this thing. He's been fucking wrecking all the cows.
Yeah.
He's let all the cows out. Don't know if there's cows in the game, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There's oxes. He's let Gustafsson's let all the oxes out.
Yeah.
Oxen.
Yeah.
They've all gone.
Yeah.
So then one of the options is like, who's Gustafsson again? Because the game knows there's so many names coming out.
Well, the first two, there's a character called Ludin, Ludin.
Yeah.
And there's a character called Ubin, Ubin.
Yeah. Very different characters.
Yeah, one is literally a giant,
Hagrid.
the other is like the king of men or whatever.
Yeah.
And their names are like one letter different, and then a D and a B switch around. So I'm like, oh.
And there's twins called Hogan and Mogan.
Yeah, exactly.
Who are great. Like,
and they are different. One's like a womanizer, and the other one wants to kind of settle down.
Yeah.
But
you don't know
which?
exactly. But the game knows that, and so it plays with that, and it doesn't. It's not like some games where you've got a really comprehensive chronicle. You've got tools, you've got a log and things that tell you who said what at any time and who's got these personality traits. The game's not that. The game doesn't show you all that stuff. So the stuff's in the game, but you've got to kind of remember who's this character and who's been a troublemaker, who's been doing all this stuff, and should you just get rid of him?
Mogan. He's all right.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? Like like Gustafsson, right, has been wrecking everyone's shit for ages. But is it Gustafsson or was it Gustalsson?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And you've got to like,
who's Olaf?
And maybe Gustafsson's worth keeping. Like I can't remember what his track record is too well. And and it's good because you're a leader in a stressful situation.
Yeah.
And you're meeting loads of new people all the time, and loads of people are attracted to the caravan, and they're like, "Can we come with you? We need, we don't want to die."
It's got that real nice thing though of like most of the decisions you make aren't through action or skill. It's like decision making. Yeah. So that really drives it. And it's really good. So that's the 2014 game Banner Saga.
Yeah, it's Christmas, isn't it? That's what you do.
Do you
on
know
Christmas.
what I mean?
Yeah. Liam, what have you been playing, mate?
I've also been hitting the backlog a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll just go quickly, so I've got more better games to talk about.
Go on. Comprehensive.
I played the DLC for Deus Ex Mankind Divided, which I've had for 2 years now.
Yeah.
It was alright. As far as DLC goes, they were quite fun little scenarios. One was particularly aggravating because it takes away all your augments and you're in like a prison.
Oh god.
So,
actually, you know what? Yeah, I do quite like that kind of scenario.
So it's like playing the game, but with one of the main gameplay mechanics disabled.
As an NPC almost.
You can re-enable it. You get a choice, but you get an achievement if you don't use any.
Yeah.
I had to get the achievement. Then
so pure
stealth playthrough. And
did it give you any closure? Because I remember Mankind Divided. Your big grievance with the ending.
One of them takes place, I think, before the main story. One of them takes place like in the middle of the main story.
Right. Okay.
So it's like there's no like epilogue type stuff to
Can
it.
you imagine
Which
if
is what
they
it
did
needs,
finish
really.
the story with like DLC? Everyone would go mad.
Oh, they would have been fuming.
Yeah.
It was good. It was a nice little addition to the game, to an already great game.
Yeah.
And I was just happy to get my 70 gig of hard drive space back, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a weird one. I don't think there's going to be so many people who are excited for Cyberpunk, and I wonder how many of them, the game Cyberpunk 2077, and I wonder how many of them will even ever bother with Deus Ex.
They really should,
Yeah.
It's like, because they look very similar. And, if you want to like whet the appetite a little bit,
Well,
you can get it on sale for
Very
dirt
similar
cheap.
game on paper, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Like, even down straight to the atmosphere and the story. Like,
Yeah.
the stories are both about, like, like technology overtaking
Yeah.
human development and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, I think Deus Ex is a bit more, like, self-serious. Cyberpunk seems to be a bit more tongue-in-cheek about things.
Yeah.
from
Mature, isn't it? Cyberpunk. That's
from the
that's
trailers.
difference, isn't it?
Like you don't see many people with like giant pink mohawks in Mankind Divided
No, man.
and stuff like that.
That's the
There are
future
some
for you.
people in there
Yeah.
like that. But
That's the
anyway,
future we can look forward to. Last time we weren't very nice about Cyberpunk. We got a whole 9 dislikes.
What's a
on it.
mature game, mate? All right, you got to take
Yeah.
it seriously, okay?
It's a mature game. Yeah.
so I played that. That was fun. That was nice to finally get out of the backlog. I played Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition on the Switch.
I was gonna get that.
How is that? What is the difference?
So it's originally a mobile game, and it is actually remarkably close to the full game. Like, it hits all the major beats.
Yeah.
The quests are very similar. The combat is it's near enough the same thing,
Wow.
The combat to the full game.
So it's Final Fantasy 15, the full game, but Pocket Edition.
Yeah, so
it's-
Chibi
chibi art style, like really
Redone
low
as a-
polygon type stuff, like pastel
The
colours
fat
and stuff.
free version.
Yeah,
really,
pretty much. And so I played through that, and it was basically like playing through Final Fantasy 15 again, just a bit condensed.
yeah.
Which I tried to do, but I
And
just couldn't get through.
It's still it took me 15 hours to beat it,
and that's
and that's for the Pocket Edition.
yeah.
Which is that's good. Like, it goes on sale quite a lot for cheap.
And it is cheap. I think it was
Very
£6 on the Switch sale
Yeah.
over Christmas. Because I was going to get it, but because I was playing Final Fantasy 15, I thought no.
Yeah, so for like what is originally a mobile game, it's a surprisingly good action RPG.
Yeah.
I'd recommend it to people. But then on to the actual good stuff,
Alright.
like the big
That's
stuff.
appetizers out the way.
That is the appetizers. I played Luigi's Mansion 3,
Yeah.
which I got as a Christmas gift. I finished it, and that was fun. It's pretty much just Luigi's Mansion. Like, they haven't really changed the formula that much since the first one.
Yeah.
The only like big addition to the gameplay is you get a plunger you can shoot for like do puzzles and stuff.
Right.
It's like a ghost might have a shield, so you can't use your flashlight on him. So you use the suction.
Plunge that sucker off.
So you use that. You pull. You fire a plunger at him. You use your vacuum, the poltergust, and you take the shield off
So
him.
the big difference.
What's the
is
plunger called?
I can't remember.
It's
I
got.
I think it's
Name.
just called suction shot.
Oh, that's disappointing.
It's not
How
a
are
great
you,
name.
how are you going to have
Flood. Remember from Mario
Yeah.
Sunshine? Then the Poltergust 3000.
the poltergust, but then you're just going to
Well,
go with
Yeah.
The big addition is Guigi, isn't it? Like, if you
Guigi.
remember it.
Guigi.
So who is Guigi?
He is
I know I
literally.
could look at
it's like fucking Nintendo Direct. So tell me, Liam, who is
I could probably watch a 45-minute dissertation by a Polygon video team member about
It's
this.
Luigi.
But I'm choosing, yeah.
So it's basically you can play co-op in Luigi's Mansion if you want. One player being Luigi,
Yeah.
but he's mainly used for like solving puzzles. Like there'll be an area of spikes, you can't cross it with Luigi because he's got feet, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Luigi, nah, you can just cross it, can't he? And open the.
Is he like a hovery? Is
No,
he like Slimer from Ghostbusters? Or is he like exactly the same?
He's
but bigger?
literally just goo, like Nickelodeon slime, but made
Yeah.
solid.
He looks like quite tasty, like a bit
He
like
looks
a jelly
like
baby.
a gummy bear.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
does look
that's
like a
what I mean.
gummy bear.
He does. I don't think goo it doesn't do him justice.
Yeah.
Like it sounds gross, but when you look at him, you just go, all right, he looks.
I can't wait till he gets his own standalone
Oh, yeah. It'll happen.
Captain Guigi treasure tracker
That
with
will
diorama
That'll
style.
happen eventually.
Luigi sewage search.
So when you're not like playing the game, he is like mainly puzzles. Sometimes
Yeah.
you have like a big ghost who you need both Luigi and Guigi to.
So if you're playing one
suction up.
player, it's AI.
Luigi.
Luigi.
No, you control him. You just swap between them at will.
Oh,
So
okay.
you,
Oh,
you
that's
have to-
cool.
You click in on one of the analog sticks and it'll swap
That's-
perspective. So like you can say you need to like open a gate, but Luigi can't get there because there's like spikes there.
Yeah.
Just get Luigi, send him across. He can hold the gate open.
Send in the goo.
Send in the goo.
I love that he's called Luigi. Like every time I'm hearing it, I'm like, it's good. It's so good.
Yeah, he's mainly like a puzzle solver sort of thing.
Yeah.
But they play a lot of jokes with him. Like he just stands there like staring dead faced all the time, and they play a lot of jokes with like that for him.
I wonder if he was a concept made with the name in mind first.
Maybe.
They want, like, because it's such a good, perfect pun. They've gone, we need another Luigi. Well, what rhymes with Luigi?
Luigi. Luigi.
Yeah, Luigi. And then they've made it around that. Or is it just perfect? Like, just, I don't know, stars of collide.
Someone's just had a great idea, haven't they?
Planets
Some
of
concept artist or something. It's just great. Yeah.
It's fucking
But
great.
he's probably like the biggest new addition to the franchise or whatever.
How is because each floor is like a different...
Yeah, so it takes place in a hotel this time. So it's not Luigi's Mansion. Not really correct, is it? But it's a hotel.
Luigi's Motel.
Yeah, I think there's 17 floors in total, and each one has a different theme.
Luigi's Guest House and Bistro.
It's got a 5-star on it.
I think it's called the Last Stay Resort or something.
Okay, yeah.
Alright.
You meant
spooky, but not too spooky.
But yeah,
I
not
like
enough
that.
to scare the family off. So each floor, it's like 17 floors. Each of them has a different theme. One of them is like an Egyptian theme.
That's the one that I've seen, like Pharaoh.
One of them's like a pirate cove. And there's loads of like physics puzzles and stuff in the game. Like surprisingly, I'm surprised the Switch can actually handle the amount of like physics stuff in it. Because it's like everything is almost like movable as an object and stuff like that. And it's one of the best looking Switch games.
It looks nice from what I've seen.
Yeah, like every so often it has like evokes a bit of a Pixar vibe.
Yeah,
like with the cutscenes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
But like, it's a fun game all round. Like I wouldn't rush out to buy it. It's not as good as the first Luigi's Mansion. And once you've like finished a hotel floor, there's not really much reason to go back to it.
Right.
Because at the end of every floor, there's a boss. You beat the boss. You get a new button for the lift, and you put that in the lift, and you can go to the next floor. There's not really any reason to go back unless you want to get the collectibles, like the booze and the gems. But there's not really any. They don't really have a purpose. So
I remember, like in the first game, I can't remember if like you had to get everything, but you could unlock mirror mode. And I remember like getting everything or doing it and thinking, oh, I'm really proud of myself. And it's just the exact same game, but with a horizontal flip.
Yeah. So like,
why?
I'm not. Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure if the rewards are worth going for all the hassle of collectible and stuff. But like, it's a fun game. Like, if you've got like a family member you want to do a bit of co-op with, just give them Luigi.
Yeah,
they'll have a good time.
The co-op gives it some appeal, I think, definitely. Like,
there is a multiplayer mode to it as well, but I haven't tried that.
Yeah, okay. What, like...
Combat, kind of.
Scream Park, it's called. I think it's a bunch of mini-games.
Oh, okay.
Scream Park again. I like it.
I like how Nintendo just chuck in a little bit of party games or mini-games into some of their...
Yeah.
It's nice,
every game is,
I had a look at them online, and they did look very Mario Party-ish.
Yeah.
That's really
they probably just didn't make the cut, did they? And
well, listen,
I've
got two things to say, yeah. Well, one's a question. Is floor 13 the scariest floor?
I can't remember what it is, to be honest.
And two, Luigi should be in Mario Kart 9.
If he's not, we riot.
Yeah, exactly. That's our new thing. Join our petition for Luigi in Mario Kart 9, which will ultimately happen.
Yeah, like overall, it's a good game. I don't think it's as good as the reviews said it was, because they were like they were glowing.
Yeah, they were.
For it. Glowing, nice. That's right. A bit spooky, but not too spooky.
Like, if you like Luigi's Mansion, give it a go.
There you go.
And I've got one more game.
Go on.
I'll be quick with it because I know we're getting on, but I played a game called River City Girls, which I've not finished.
Yes, River City Girls looks sick. Yeah,
it's basic. Do you remember the Scott Pilgrim game on the 360 and PS3 that I am so obsessed with?
I do.
It's basically that, but modern. And it's made by a Way Forward, who are like the retro masters. And it's based on, do you remember River City Ransom from the NES?
No.
Well, it's like a side-scrolling beat-em-up, a bit Double Dragon-like.
Right.
And it's a spiritual sequel to that. And it's got amazing pixel art.
Yeah.
It's one of the most fun beat-em-ups I've played in a while. Voice acting's great. Animation's great. Sprite work, beautiful. The music has this like really cheesy 80s vibe to it. And you just go around battering everyone. That's the point of the game.
I looked at Castle Crashers on the Switch, and then I was like, I've done it to death.
Yeah.
And I was like looking for something.
It's quite expensive, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. So I think it came out around the same time.
Right.
As River City Girls. And I was like, oh, it looks like a similar thing. And
it's so fun.
I almost got it.
I've not finished it yet, but I'm having a great time with it. I got it on PC during the Steam sale.
That's good to hear. Because it was like, I think it's about 18 to 20 quid on the Switch, which for a complete gamble. No
Yeah.
one's giving me their blessing.
No.
Its price hasn't really moved.
Yeah.
I think I got it for it was 30% off in the Steam Winter Sale,
Yeah.
Right.
and it's been out for 6 months or so. I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
August
Like
or something.
I only knew about this game because I follow quite a lot of like retro YouTubers and stuff, and they were singing the praises of this game, and everyone kept saying it's like Scott Pilgrim from the 360 and PS3,
Yeah.
and I was like, well, I have to buy it. As soon as I saw it on sale, bought it, and I'm just having so much fun.
Never
with
look back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great. I can't wait to play more of it. And that about covers what I've played.
I mean, you mentioned Scott Pilgrim on the 360 there. I signed up to Xbox Game Pass again.
Yeah.
I could for 3 months of Ultimate, which is,
That's good. That.
how am I going to say no to that? So I spent most of my time like reinstalling like shitloads of games. I mean, I fucking just filled the hard drive on my Xbox One, but I haven't actually played any yet.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one thing that I didn't realise though is I've still got like loads of Xbox Live arcade games that from the 360, which I just completely had forgotten about.
Yeah.
So it was so good, just like going through
All the
my
backwards
old
compatible stuff.
my old 360 titles that work on.
I
Xbox One.
have an Xbox 360 account. I don't know if I can remember the details though.
That's what I did. I logged in on my old because I had been using my Xbox One up until now with just some new account that I'd made.
Yeah.
So I for some reason signed. I think it was something to do with the Game Pass thing, and
Yeah.
I signed it. I signed in with my older account to get Xbox.
so cool,
Well,
man.
and there's fucking loads of stuff. Like Battlefield 1943, which I'm sure is probably not even But I just had forgotten that I'd ever played that game.
That's
I
kinda
played
cool.
hundreds of hours of that.
That is the digital equivalent of going into your attic and finding a box
Yeah.
of all your old games, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Which is quite
definitely
a
is.
rare thing these
Yeah.
days
Yeah.
because everything, is
It was
Digital anyway.
cool. And there's toy soldiers, a few toy.
classic. Yeah,
Fucking
they're
well
fucking
good.
classic.
I think. Do you remember those free Doritos games they gave
I
away?
had them.
Even they are backwards compatible.
I had them.
With
Yeah.
those that Tyrannosaurus Rex trash.
Yeah.
One of them was like that Wipeout game.
Yeah. Crash Course.
Yeah. So you were like a little obstacle
Man,
course, like
that's
trials
cool.
or
That's
something.
cool. Yeah,
So that was quite good. So I downloaded a few of those
getting
things.
new stuff on the Game Pass. They had the GTA 5, didn't they?
Surprise drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some good stuff. I mean, I've got the Halo Master Chief Collection and stuff, which like straight away. I got Fable 2 and stuff, which they're the ones that I want to play. And I went
out Fable 3.
I went to CEX. Yeah.
Fable 2.
Sorry, Fable 3.
Stuff.
Fable 3 though, Jesus. Anyway, I went to CEX, which is like if you're not from the UK, it's like just.
It's actually pronounced sex, isn't it? If you're from Europe.
Yeah, but I'll never give in to that.
Yeah, don't give it.
I went to Sex and I got there's just this really nice feeling. It's just it's just a shop full of secondhand stuff like phones, like all the technology and games and media and stuff. All of it is pre-owned, but it's such a nice feeling. Just looking at the Xbox 360 shelves and going, I'll have that, 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 and spending maybe a total of £8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I bought like 5 or 6
I don't
games.
know if this would happen if you lived in a city, but living quite rurally, it's nice because I remember going to like a sex in.
Oh, we doing that, are we?
Oh, I'm doing it.
All right. Okay.
Just for the Europeans out there, you know.
Yeah,
what I mean,
okay.
I'm with you guys, innit?
Just been talking about Banner Saga for half an hour. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I remember going like in 2012 or something to one of them in like Oxford, I think it was. I was on tour doing music. I went and I was like looking for shit, and there was nothing good and old there. But then when you go to like the real games exchange, you get like Pokemon Red for like 80p or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, so living up here is good because there's no gamers of culture up here. Is
there's
there?
not much demand.
If you're in London, you tell me you can find Conflict Desert Storm for 80p. You couldn't.
but it's true, and like
It's a Bugs game living in the city.
Dead Space. There was like 8 copies of Dead Space, and I took the time to find the best one with like the best.
The one that had the nicest cover.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep that
That's
sucker.
One
what
with
it
the least sticker
Pays
residue on
for
it.
itself living rurally because of this shit. Yeah.
So yeah, I grabbed a few 360 games. So I'm looking forward to playing some Xbox. But I did play. I played through a couple of like shorter games because I knew I could finish them. So I finished Inside, played it start to finish, which I'd never finished it before. And yeah, I knew what happened.
Still
Unfortunately,
need to play that.
But
I've got it. I haven't played it
It's
yet.
amazing. Do you know what happens at the end as well?
I think so.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay, but the less you know, the better, though, for sure. Because I was kind of even when I was enjoying it, and I was sort of I was wished there's like a few words which if you've heard those words, it basically ruins it.
I got it day one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking. You know what I mean? That's when sometimes you get things day one like a sucker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was one of those times when you're not a sucker.
Yeah, definitely.
Before like I got Firewatch day one.
Yeah.
Played that and then I was like, what the fuck is everyone going mad about?
Yeah.
One of them.
Well, they made Limbo, didn't they? So it's a very similar game to Limbo. So probably in the same universe, I reckon.
Yeah. It's out on phones and that now. Actually, saw someone on Twitter saying it's
got it on Switch. Yeah. So that's how I've managed to finish it. So it's really good. Yeah, there's like 3 controls in it, and it's one of those games that's just tells a story constantly through no dialogue or anything like that, no text, nothing, just all environmental, and it's just
Yeah, the company who made it had a big fallout after that, and it's kind of gone a bit wrong, hasn't it? So
yeah,
they're working on
Playdead.
They split up, didn't they?
Yeah.
To creative leads.
One of them's in Liverpool working on Wushu or whatever that new studio.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Playdead are doing it's a space game basically inside in space next. Like you land on a planet, and that's all I know. But yeah, man, it's a slam.
Yeah, so that was a good one, and I played Everybody's Gone to the Rapture as well, which is artistically very,
nice
very
walk
good.
through Yorkshire Village.
I love that game, but it's not much of a game.
No, it stretches the definition of video game, but that's it doesn't pretend to be anything else.
Is that your first time playing both of them all the way through?
All the way through. I had played both of them before, but I hadn't finished. Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. I stopped after the first village because I was just so bored. But it was this time because I had the time this time, and I wasn't just trying to cram it in on a weekend. I was like, So I
savor it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
I spent
nice.
more time with it. Artistically, it's amazing. I think. But I've been thinking about this. It's a great. Artistically, it's a great game because it looks amazing, it sounds amazing, and it's it's a nice story in the way it unravels, and the way the story's presented to you is quite nice. But as a game, it's not a game. It's
a walking simulator.
Yeah, but to the extreme definition of to
the original. That's the thing. Walking simulators now, what people call walking simulators, anything with a lot of walking in it.
Yeah.
What remains of Edith Finch isn't a walking simulator. Everybody's Gone to the Rapture and Dear Esther are walking simulators.
So they're the same people who did Dear Esther, aren't they?
So they're like the original ones, aren't they?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They are the people that it was called the first time.
Yeah.
People use it now as a nice term to find other games.
I remember people kept calling Death Stranding a walking simulator, didn't they?
Well, people still, that's what I mean, yeah, but this and Dear Esther, that's actually a walking simulator, isn't it? Yeah.
And what that means is you don't do anything except walk, and that you have one other button, which is interact, which is very limited, like some doors and some you can get
I think it's
radios.
a step up from Dear Esther.
Yeah, exactly. and you just sort of, let it wash over you a little bit. The only thing that annoyed me still this time was the light was sometimes there's balls of light in the world that sort of direct you through, and the big part of the story, the main focal point of the story is this light. But sometimes it leads you down a path, literally, and there's very slow movement speed. There's a sprint. Oh, I'm telling a lie. There is another button which is sprint, but you got to hold it down to build up.
In as well.
Yeah, the
It
original
feels
game
a
doesn't
bit,
have it. Yeah.
So you got to hold it down to build up momentum before you actually reach the level of sprinting, which again is very slow.
Yeah. I got this again very early on. Didn't have a sprint button.
So this light will take you down a path, and will just go, and you think, okay, it's leading me to the next thing, and then it just turns around and goes back the way it came. It's like, what the fuck you doing, little bat?
Yeah.
Little fucking bastard.
Getting trolled by some little fucking light. Yeah. 15 minutes of your day gone.
Yeah. But other than that, it was a nice game.
Man,
Nice.
that's a good collection of games, guys.
Yeah, it's been alright, isn't it? We've had plenty of emails.
We have had some emails,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is one that I think we kind of discussed, but I wasn't. I don't like to go into this too much, but it is. I don't think it's anything we've referenced directly yet. I think so. This is an email that's come into our Dear Special Moves inbox. It's dearspecialmoves@gmail.com. Send us an email and we'll read it out and have a chat. This one is from Caleb Husky, who's emailed us plenty of times before. Caleb says, Dear Special Moves, having done the best games of the year and the decade, what were your worst or most disappointing games? Mainstream releases, I suppose, ignoring shovelware. Keep up the good work.
I don't have to think about what I'm going to say, but it's going to annoy a lot of people, but...
Worst or disappointing? No, we didn't do a video or a special podcast on this because, we're not that way inclined, I guess. It's just not...
It's dead easy to say something shit.
Yeah.
It's dead easy to do it. It takes nothing. Do you know what? A lot of the time as well, you don't have to actually play it. You just go, I don't like look at that. It looks shit. Do you mean Dirt Rally 2.0 or whatever? I
Yeah.
don't want to play that. To me, it's shit.
I think we have, we've definitely discussed this, but I can't remember if it was in a
Yeah.
podcast or not. But we'll say definitively now, like this is our looking back on the last decade, or
Decade.
Well, yeah, because we've done the best games of the decade and the year.
Right. Oh man, that's the thing.
It's
I've played
tough.
a lot of trash.
Yeah, it's tough to.
I can do it that fast, right? I'll tell you, like I'm gonna go for most disappointing because
Of the year, let's do the year, and then
yeah, easy Outer Worlds. Don't have to think about it. What is everyone going on about? That's it. That's all I've got to say about it. I played it. I was like, this game could have came out in 2011, and it would have got a 7 out of 10.
I wasn't excited about that, so I can't say
I
I was
don't get
disappointed.
it. I'm sorry to everybody that annoyed, but I just listen. I don't feel this like sort of closeness to New Vegas like everybody else does. So because this game came out and it was like nearly identical to New Vegas, like the things that people like about New Vegas is in this, I guess. But I don't know.
I didn't last very long with that at all.
I don't get it.
didn't enjoy
It's to me like I've done it before. I've done it before when I played Knights of the Old Republic, yeah, but it wasn't first person, and I just felt more. I felt more like I was assuming the role. In this, I
Yeah.
didn't care. I'm not a big spacey guy anyway, so maybe it's that. But it was a bit of a weird one because I kind of wasn't excited for it, and then I saw like loads of people like talking about how great it was, so and then I was like, oh good, it'll be good, and I kind of started believing because I was quite disappointed in Fallout 4 as well, to be honest. So I thought, oh, this will be cool, it'd be nice to play a game like this because I was like, when's the last one? Skyrim, something like that, So I just played it and didn't like it. Do you know what I mean? Like, listen, the thing is, here's the thing. Pillars of Eternity and Divinity Original Sin are role-playing games that they do it for me. This kind of has come out between them, after them, but before I've played like a proper game like this that I've liked. So I don't know. It's just not for me. I was very disappointed, and I know that that's a bit of a dickheadish pick, but I also don't like that.
It's not though, is it? It's just what.
Yeah, exactly. But people are like going, "Oh, but it was an indie game." Nah, mate,
Yeah, well, do your own fucking podcast and tell me on there what you think. Do you know what I mean? Don't
dislike it.
For me, mine is. Did it come out in 2019? Anthem.
Yeah. February.
Anthem.
Very beginning of the year, yeah.
I totally. I wasn't looking forward to it. Like I wasn't really excited about. I wasn't one of these people who were thinking it was going to be the next thing of BioWare greatness. But even despite my sort of. I'm not going to say I had low expectations or anything. I just wasn't caught up in
reserved.
Yeah, I mean, I am with games that there's not many that I'm excited for way in advance, right? But towards as release was getting closer, I was thinking, I'm quite into this idea of a new BioWare game, whatever it may be. I didn't need it to be like a live shooter in a sci-fi universe because I was getting all that from Destiny at the time anyway. So I was, I didn't need it to be what the game that it was, but I was just looking forward to a new BioWare game. But then it just, like Mass Effect Andromeda as well, that was a more of a disappointment for me, even though again I wasn't really excited for it. That was called Mass Effect and it was a bad game. It wasn't.
I think a lot of people were kind of going into Anthem thinking it was going to be bad because of that, and I think BioWare,
because of Andromeda. Yeah, possibly.
But I think this is like that. This was the if BioWare don't smash this, BioWare are dead to us kind of game. Because BioWare have kind of like the name. It's like what CD Projekt Red does now, isn't it?
Yeah.
The name means so much. BioWare used to mean like a lot, but I don't think the name carries weight anymore. And in fact, I think it's the opposite. I think if somebody said right now there's a new BioWare game coming out, everyone will be like, hold up.
Yeah.
The last couple of BioWare games aren't.
Well, they were for definitely a period, probably EA's best asset, like best studio. Now that's got to be Respawn. Like you put, I reckon it's got to be
Dice. Maybe
Dice are great, but Respawn have definitely made better games than Dice.
Luckily, they're both
recently.
being headed by the same guy now, right?
Yeah. But Respawn at the moment are the fucking boys. Even though we've all been having an awful lot of fun playing Star Wars Battlefront 2, haven't we, boys? So we're
fucking hell, yeah.
That's one game that we haven't mentioned. That's a Dice.
Let me say, that I've been hooked on that. I have been hooked.
It's
been
good.
fun.
I feel like I've spent all my time on Sekiro, but I've definitely spent more than 30 hours on Battlefront.
First time we've done a bit of multiplayer in a while, isn't it?
Yeah.
Together, like
still annoying lobby problems on there.
Yeah,
Still
it's
shit.
Yeah,
Isn't
the
it?
multiplayer matchmaking with your friends is not the best.
I remember it being shite when it loaded. I remember
It's slightly less shite.
Yeah,
Still quite shite though.
it's like stuff like one of you will get kicked randomly and you have to go back.
But
to the
everyone
menu.
else will get put in the game. But
Yeah.
load times are quite long.
the
So you gotta wait.
The problem is we have all played a lot of Destiny, which does such a good job of keeping you all together.
Yeah.
This does not do that.
No.
It's actually, you have to quit individually as well. So there's no if you're in a group, if say Liam is like invited everyone to join
This
a
is
game,
exactly it. If
if
Liam
Liam
didn't tell
quits,
me he'd left, if I'm in the middle of a battle,
yeah,
I'm not paying attention.
and it's
to
not the kind of game where you see Liam a lot either, is it? In the game, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you might not even
Exactly.
fucking
There's
realise he's
48
gone.
players per match.
Yeah, but Battlefield, the other great dice game, Battlefield 5 does a really good job of squadding you and keeping you in the squad together.
is good.
The squad
Yeah.
respawns and stuff aren't so great, I think, on Battlefront. But anyway, that's a dice game that we've been playing a lot, and DICE are a great studio. But I think Respawn is the one
They're the
that
darling at the minute.
they're making the best games, and if EA said we're going to give this property to Respawn, I don't care what it is. Like they've just given they gave Star Wars to Respawn to do Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
Respawn aren't a studio who do third-person action adventure games, but they fucking nailed it. They did a good job. It was solid
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
I think they're the ones that have they're definitely the best studio that EA's got at the moment. Which
Yeah, I think
and that's a shame.
Like BioWare closed down, didn't they? One of the studios. I think there's 3
Yeah,
BioWare
after-
studios. There's 2
Yeah,
now.
the
after Andromeda,
Austin.
the ones who made, was it Edmund? No, Edmonton's the main one,
Edmonton's
isn't it?
the main one. I think is it Austin?
Was it Montreal?
Montreal.
They were the ones who did Andromeda.
yeah.
Yeah, it was BioWare Montreal. Yeah.
And then there's loads of like Jason Schreier, like teardowns of
I think-
speaking to 70 people who've worked there.
BioWare Austin are the ones who keep the Old Republic MMO going.
I see. Yeah. So it was.
Yeah.
It must have been Montreal then. But yeah, I think the Anthem was kind of. I don't know. Don't want to sound like a YouTube thumbnail here, but I think it was doomed to fail.
Did
a bit.
it fail?
No, it was doomed to fail.
Yeah.
That's it,
It was dead. It was dead.
I remember
Which
all
words
like
you putting in block capitals there, then, mate? That's what I want to know.
Doomed and fail. Fail might be in red.
Yeah.
All white background.
I remember seeing that E3 demo they did, and everyone was going mad about it. I just didn't see what everyone else was getting from it.
Exactly with you, Liam. That's how I felt, and I wasn't, as I was saying, I wasn't excited about it until it was very close to release, and I was thinking, oh, it's another BioWare game, and that's what I was looking forward to. But yeah, so that's definitely mine. What about yours, Liam?
Probably Wolfenstein Youngblood,
So that was a standalone.
That was a standalone spin-off of Wolfenstein 2 A New Colossus.
Yeah.
Which Wolfenstein 2 A New Colossus was also a big disappointment for me.
But you liked the first reboot of Wolfenstein?
The first Wolfenstein reboot, the New Order,
Yeah.
I thought was fantastic.
Yeah.
I played through it twice on release, had a whale of a time with it.
Yeah.
Wolfenstein 2 came along and had some really questionable map design, and some the gunplay wasn't as satisfying. And
Is that where you start in a wheelchair?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
And so on paper it was we're gonna go bigger and wackier, and but then they had really weird story tonal conflicts where there was big wacky wheeling along in a wheelchair killing Nazis on a submarine, but then there's an inner monologue saying how he doesn't deserve to live. So it's it's really conflicting.
I think it was
tone.
the intro of that game. Your dad forces you to shoot your own dog or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it
it's in
goes
the
straight
game.
into the wheelchair, shooting
wheelchair
Nazis.
bound, rolling around with an Uzi or whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
and it's
not an Uzi. Uzis are dead, man. Uzis needs to come back. But
Well,
forget
you haven't
about
seen
that.
them in
We'll talk
games
about
for a
that
while.
another time. yeah.
and then Wolfenstein Youngblood came along, and it was a sequel, and I was okay, I'll give it a chance. And it had Arcane co-developed it.
Yeah.
People who make Dishonored and Prey.
Yeah.
So I was okay, so maybe we'll
Great
get some
studio.
fantastic studio. And I was maybe we'll get some better levels, because that's what they're known for, their level design and stuff like that. Instead, we got a very boring semi-open world where there was loading screens between nearly every area. The gunplay was fine. The co-op I tried a little bit with just randoms online.
Yeah.
And it just made all the enemies spongier. they introduced like level up and RPG mechanics that were just so poorly implemented. It just made everything like spongier, more grindy. And then the final boss fight was just like pretty much broken. He could one-shot you. So they patched it eventually, but I did manage to finish it by myself, and it was just like it was so like boring. Like everything was just boring about it, which is not something I would ever want to say about Wolfenstein. So yeah, Wolfenstein Youngblood. It was either that or Rage 2 for me. Both.
Yeah.
Bethesda shooters.
Both Bethesda publishing. You've gone for an EA title, so now I do feel like the dickhead with my Obsidian thing. But do you know what? It's just my heart feels, guys.
So I will say at least I can't speak now. At least Rage 2 had fun shooting. The open world was paint by numbers, quite shit.
Yeah.
But the shooting was very good in Rage 2. Whereas in Wolfenstein, it just wasn't. Yeah.
I didn't play Rage 2 or Wolfenstein.
I wanted to like Rage 2 more than I did. I didn't spend very long with it. I played about 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
Honestly, you were about halfway through the game. At that point. It was not a long game.
It looked a bit like, it was kind of filling in. It was kind of keeping Borderlands 3 seat warm for it.
A little bit.
Do you know what I mean? Borderlands 3, a lot of people were disappointed with. I quite liked it.
Yeah, it was good.
Did I finish it?
I almost bought the DLC for that, but then thought I've got more stuff I need to play.
Good. I have it's done exactly what Borderlands does every time though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't hit enough points for me where I go, it was great.
Yeah.
But enough that when Borderlands 4 comes about eventually, I'll go, well, I like the others.
Yeah.
I liked it more than the second one.
So I think as for most disappointing of the decade, a decade's a long time.
I'll tell you. I you know what? I'm not just saying this because I've just brought it up and it's like in my head now. I am a big fan of the old walking simulator, and I was really looking forward to Firewatch, and I did really not enjoy it. I know what it did, but I didn't like where it was going, and it was pretty clever that it made me think it was going to go somewhere grander and didn't. But fuck off. What about Fallout 4 though? Maybe that is my most disappointing. Just because I'm a big sucker for these games, I really, really like the old. I liked it. I did like it, but every time I play a sort of Bethesda first party game, I go, there's no way they're going to top it. There's no way Fallout 3 is going to top Oblivion, and it almost does really. Then Fallout 4 kind of was like Skyrim. There's no way Skyrim's going to beat Fallout 3. Fucking did. There's no way Fallout 4 is going to top Skyrim. No, it didn't. Oh shit. Okay then. So it just met expectation. My expectation was there's no way it could beat Skyrim. It didn't. I just kind of didn't like how so many of the quests were scattered so far away from the map that it's like I'm in the Brotherhood of Steel's big blimp. Yeah, it's like go over to this shithead scientist and threaten him. So I go, right, I could walk 9 minutes or I could just fast travel. So you fast travel, you watch a loading screen, you spin a 3D model of a Deathclaw around a couple of rotations, you've loaded up. You go to the scientist, you you click your persuade, boom, straight back to Paladin Xanth or whatever the fuck his name is. Another loading screen, this time I'm looking at a radio, I rotate that round. That's it. Done. That's a quest.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe don't fast travel, Jake. Well, all right then. What am I going to do? Walk 6 minutes over already traipsed land. That's the thing. It's like not
pre-traipsed.
Yeah, and the thing is about Skyrim in this year, when you traipse in land that you've already gone through, you're going through some nice foliage. You've got some deer that you can hunt maybe.
Why are you doing that voice?
Nice, relaxing. And then Fallout 4, you go in it and it's just, you can listen to the same songs that you've... It's not the game's fault that you've heard the songs loads and loads. Because you've put 35 hours into it. Yeah. And, if they're going to make an OST of 100 hours worth of licensed songs, they're going to be paying a fortune, so I understand. But I don't want to see the same rust colour world. So, I don't know, man. But to be fair to it, it's the most disappointing game for me. But it's because the bar was really high. So I don't know, man.
I think I got a couple of picks, and that's only because I can't remember any more disappointing things really, or any more times I've been disappointed. Because 10 years is a long time, and I'm sure there are definitely I'm sure there are games that I've been more disappointed by, and that I think are worse games for sure, right? Yeah. But this is just more about me personally. So I've got a couple. My first one even though it's a game I liked and I played loads of time and I put loads of time into it, is Star Wars Battlefront 1 for EA. More because of what that kind of represents, or what it did represent for a long time, which was a very lightweight. Even though it looked amazing, it sounded amazing. It was good to play, right? So on paper, that's ticking a lot of boxes. But it was such a shallow experience for if you're a big sort of Star Wars fan and you just wanted something a bit more than just, you know, people forget the multiplayer just didn't have any progression at all, really, apart from getting cosmetics and stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, they kind of added quite a bit of meat to Battlefront 2 now, which we've been loving, as you've just heard.
They added meat in the loot box set, and then they took it out, and then it's like what they've got there, when they take it away from a randomised system to a progressive, accumulative system, is actually very satisfying.
It feels substantial, doesn't it?
And you aim towards what you're going for and you get it that way. And it's very, very nice.
But the original Star Wars Battlefront, despite it probably being the single best representation of the Star Wars films in a game, I've still, even including Battlefront 2, I've ever seen. It was just like, it had a lighter UI. You just felt like you were in the movies more than Battlefront 2 does, even though Battlefront 2 is a better game. Battlefront 1 felt like I was in it. The sound design, it was all super, super authentic, but it was just, I just couldn't get around the idea that this is it. Like, this is it. They've given me like a very straightforward multiplayer shooter with basically nothing else, and then for years and years there was just nothing coming from EA, and I was really excited about EA getting the Star Wars thing. I genuinely was. I thought, well, yeah, at the time, who else would you give it to? They've got the multiplayer, they've got DICE, they've got BioWare, they've got loads of money. They can do loads of fun stuff, and they just didn't. So then what?
It's a no-brainer, isn't it? Like KOTOR was good, yeah.
Yeah.
Then the company did Mass Effect have got the Star Wars license again.
Exactly.
I can see how in your head.
And Battlefield, which is my favourite multiplayer shooter series, that studio is going to be making Battlefront. You fucking what, man? I was well excited. Yeah. And the teaser for Battlefront was amazing. It was just a speeder and a
80-80
class. Yeah. Fucking well good. And that's probably the biggest high and low difference I've felt, like, in terms of how excited I was about the idea of something and how it didn't happen, right? Yeah. The other thing, my other one, which I'm just going to mention quickly, is Red Dead Redemption 2. Because of how much I liked Red Dead Redemption 1, I fucking loved Red Dead Redemption 1.
That, isn't it? Because I think a lot of people thought that. But now the PC boys are involved. I think they're just happy to get a game that's not janky.
It's nice for them. I'm happy for them.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. A game that's not in early access.
Yeah.
But
you enjoy that, guys, okay?
I want to talk about Escape from Tarkov before we go. But,
all right.
No, I actually do. But I know what you mean.
I was so Red Dead Redemption 1. I was so into it. I loved John Marston. I had never played a more immersive sort of real world. Like the fact that it was a fantasized sort of Western setting, but it felt like the real world. I had never had that before, even with Grand Theft Auto and stuff. This is the most I felt like immersed in a sort of real world setting, and they absolutely nailed it. The scale of it and everything. Red Dead Redemption 2 is like. It's gonna like 60 minutes of game. Any 60 minutes of gameplay in Red Dead Redemption 2 is not a lot happens in it. Either not a lot happens in it, or you shoot like 500 people, and it's just the scale of it just seems weird. And I was really, really into the intro and stuff because I thought like the way that it handled the confrontation and stuff in when you're playing it and you shoot and there's a shootout right at the beginning, you kill like maybe 2 or 3 people or something. I like that, but then there's just massive wave-based sort of like hordes of bandits that you're just murdering, and that punctuates hours and hours of riding your horse doing nothing, and and it's so time-consuming as a game. Yeah,
even out a bit, but I can. Yeah, you're right, and I think my problem with it was that like I was working
exactly, and there's full stop.
Well, yeah, but I was looking in the cinema at the time, so my hours were all over the place, and then that juggled with having a new kid at the time, who I was playing it with very awkward hours.
Yeah.
And then maybe I was playing it for 40 minutes at a time. And then, yeah, like by the time you got through the load screens and shit, that's all of a sudden 35 minutes.
Exactly.
And then, after you've listened to Dutch ramble on, that's 20 minutes. And then after you've sharpened your bullets or whatever, you know, you've got time for one animation or whatever. Innit? So,
Have you sharpened those bullets, boy?
so, you know, I eventually pushed.
Sharpened your bullets.
So, yeah.
That's some fucking Taika Waititi writing that.
It's weird real life getting in the way of it, and maybe that's my problem. Fuck me for not being 17-year-old or whatever.
No, that's it. That's my entire point. It's very disrespectful of your you know, it's disrespectful of your time in the sense that it just expects you to be able to commit hours. You can't really enjoy it unless you can commit hours to it, and that's what it's trying to do, and that's what it's trying to be. It's trying to be a completely immersive cowboy simulator where you need to do all of your bullet sharpening, and you've got to brush your horse.
You like that one, guys.
And you've got to do
keep your horse cores full.
It's just you know, and there's so many little mechanics in it that on paper are like, that sounds cool, but it's just it just means that any single play session is filled with busy work, just absolute minor busy work, or you'll have a 10-minute section where you kill 700 people.
And that's, you know what the good thing about that though is, it's like someone's listening to this and going, yeah, and that's amazing, and that's what's good about it.
Well, good luck in your A levels.
Really like
exactly that, and that's why it's, and that's why, you know, just to stress it again, it's you.
Yeah, that's what I said at the beginning of both those. Is this is more to do with personally with.
And I mean,
me,
even the guy sitting next to you like disagrees with you on that because he likes that exact thing that you don't.
It's one of those games where you either buy into it 100% or you don't.
Yeah,
and it's not forgiving of anyone.
There's no compromise.
It's unforgiven, isn't it?
Yeah, that's nice.
Less Clint Eastwood.
So I think disappointing games of the decade. Liam, have you got any?
Oh yeah, it immediately comes to mind.
Metal Gear Solid 5.
Not even that, you know. I thought of one better. Resident Evil 6. Came out in 2012.
Yeah,
that is like 9 games all crammed into one, and none of them are particularly good. So it's just, I remember.
I think that's a good shout actually.
For a lot of
it's a strong. Oh yeah.
Because even I was a fan of Resident Evil 5 when a lot of people weren't.
Yeah.
Because it went very actiony. This one, literally the first 10 minutes is there's a helicopter explosion, about 7 quick time events.
A lot of door kicking, isn't there, in those quick time events?
Leon roundhouse kicks about 4 zombies in the first 10 minutes.
Never just a straight foot kick.
No, it's always a roundhouse. And then the map design in it is like really bad because it's meant to... The game doesn't even tell you how to play it properly. Because you're meant to use a lot of melee in Resident Evil 6, but the game never really makes that clear to you. And the melee ability is shite anyway until you level it up. And then you've got 3 different campaigns. You've got Leon, which is meant to be like survival horror. It's really not. There's a few jump scares, and then it goes straight into like Harrier jets blowing up and shite like that. It's Chris Redfield, which is pretty much Gears of War. Which, why would you want, like, zombies with assault rifles is not really what I wanted.
Yeah.
And literally giant like Cyclops troll things as well, wrecking a fictional Eastern European country. And then
I don't think I got to that part, so I'm like going, oh,
big glad you didn't. And then there was the new character called Jake, who turned out he was the son of Wesker,
sick,
the series villain.
Sick name, Jake.
And he was basically just a martial artist getting chased by a Nemesis ripoff. And it was just
see, on paper that does sound appealing. It sounds so nuts.
It's the execution of it. On paper, it sounds like it could be so over the top.
If that was an 80s film, a martial artist getting chased by what? Zombies and shit. You'd be like, whoa.
The problem is, it's a jack of all trades but master of none. Is its problem. It tries to do so many things, it never does anything particularly well. And I remember I played for it co-op with a friend, and he was loving it, and I was loathing it. On like being on Xbox Live on the headsets, he was like going, "Oh, this is so good." I was like, "Yeah." So, fuck that game.
Fuck that Evil 2 remake.
He played through it about 4 times. I played through each campaign once, and I never wanted.
At least you found the demographic. You're right there with him, you know.
Oh, that's such a, and it's got this weird like fan cult following at the minute now. Resident Evil 6.
I think it's a bit of a hipster thing where it's
people are like, it's really not that bad, you know. It's like, no, it fucking is that bad.
Yeah.
You just have shite taste.
Yeah. The Liam Inquisition, Resident Evil 6 Inquisition is
It's
fucking coming for you.
Bad.
Like
Every time, if I bought it on PC on like a Steam sale, like 4 years later after I played it, I was like, you know what? I'll give it another go. I didn't last 3 hours before.
I mean, sometimes you just don't like stuff to. Do you know what I mean? It's as simple as that.
I couldn't bring myself to do it.
Yeah, it wasn't a good game, was it? I finished it though. I completed it. And because it had co-op. That's why I finished it.
That's why I finished it.
And there's only 6 co-op games, isn't there? So
worst of the decade. Then we did it.
Well, thanks for the email. And if you want to send us an email, it's dearspecialmoves@gmail.com. That's dearspecialmoves@gmail.com. Send us an email and we'll have a chat about it. And we're done.
Okay,
we're done. There's no new games.
We said at the beginning
we were going to talk about The Witcher.
Yeah,
which we're going to do in the next podcast because
the next being the Patreon
bonus
podcast.
one. Yeah. Now called the next podcast.
Special Moves next, but without the E.
Isn't that a wrestling organisation? NXT.
We'll take it from him.
I learned that.
I'm going to get sued by WWE.
I learned that from Fighting with My Family, a film we'll talk about in the bonus podcast.
Good film, that.
Nice one.
Yeah, no, it's a great film.
There's no new games, you say, at all, is there really?
Well, I mean, there's a couple of... no, there's no new games. There's no new games. I mean, it is quite a busy year, actually. There's actually more than you think.
Oh, God. As soon as March hits,
yeah.
It's madness.
I'm going to do
madness.
I'm going to, for the sake of the pod, I'm going to go down and get Escape from Tarkov because it's going mad.
It's popping off.
And most people listening to this is like, oh, okay. Everyone's on a sort of, when PUBG was first popping off and everyone was like, I might get it. I'll do it. I'll jump in for you and then we'll do it next week.
What is it?
Escape from Tarkov. You'll love this. Imagine the Council of PC Master Race made the game, right? It's a hardcore military simulator with absolutely realistic as fuck shooting. It's made by Europeans. It doesn't work properly. It's been in early access since 2016.
Wow.
There's multiple buy-in levels. It's got a little bit of DayZ in there, but without the zombies. But
it's number 1 on Steam.
It is absolutely...
It's not even on Steam.
It's going mad, right? It's been in early access for ages.
It's not even on Steam.
No. It's download their own launcher, MMO style.
That feels like
number 1 on Twitch. It's PUBG didn't do that. You know, until I had the publisher.
Yeah.
It's gone manic. So I think it's been in an alpha for ages, and I think it's just gone into beta. And whatever they've added is all... go on Twitch, go on YouTube Gaming, Facebook Gaming, whatever, go on Mixer.
No.
It's everywhere. It's my job to do it, so don't worry, I'll do it for us all. And it's everywhere, so I'm going to jump in and I'll let you know. So
okay.
The Tarkov report.
So look forward to the Tarkov files next week from our correspondent Jake Kulkowski, who's escaping.
Just Eastern European enough to survive.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with more Escape from Tarkov information and other stuff. Who knows what that'll be. Remember to check out the bonus podcast if you're a patron. That's coming up in the next few days as well. Thanks. See you soon. Bye.